Have you ever noticed how often films introduce a character who is both sexually appealing and incredibly naive? This peculiar combination of traits forms what we call the born sexy yesterday trope. The born sexy yesterday trope is a common narrative device in cinema, especially in science fiction and fantasy genres. Its name comes from the idea of a character, usually a woman, who is physically mature and sexually attractive but has the mind and innocence of a child due to their recent creation or arrival into the world. Take, for instance, the character of Lilu in The Fifth Element. She's a perfect example of this trope, a supreme being who is physically attractive but has the innocence and ignorance of a child. Or consider the character of Quora from Tron Legacy, an ESO, a type of artificial life form, who is skilled and physically capable, yet naive about the human world. The born sexy yesterday trope is not just about creating a visually appealing character, it's about creating a power dynamic. The character's innocence and naivety make them dependent on a typically male character, who becomes their guide and protector. This dynamic often leads to a romantic relationship, with the born sexy yesterday character falling for their guide due to their dependency and lack of understanding of human relationships. However, the trope is not without its implications. While it can add an interesting dynamic to a story, it also perpetuates harmful stereotypes. The trope often objectifies women, reducing them to their physical appeal and naivety. It also presents an unrealistic and potentially harmful image of relationships, where one party is significantly more knowledgeable and powerful than the other. The born sexy yesterday trope also undermines the concept of consent in relationships. Due to their naivety, these characters often lack the understanding to give informed consent, leading to problematic portrayals of romantic relationships. In conclusion, the born sexy yesterday trope is a widely used narrative device that brings with it a host of implications. It perpetuates harmful stereotypes, presents an unrealistic image of relationships, and undermines the concept of consent. While it can add an interesting dynamic to a story, it's important to be aware of its implications and to challenge these harmful portrayals in cinema. So next time you watch a film, keep an eye out for this trope. Consider its implications and what it says about our society's views on women, relationships, and power dynamics. The world of cinema is a mirror to our society, and it's up to us to challenge and question the images it reflects back. Voiceover. While the born sexy yesterday trope is prevalent, it's particularly important to examine its impact on the representation of Black women in media. Interestingly, Black women are often absent from this trope, a fact that reflects the wider issue of representation in cinema. When Black women do appear in this trope, they're often relegated to side characters or portrayed in a stereotypical manner. This lack of representation and diversity not only limits the range of stories told, but also sends a message about who is seen as desirable and innocent in our society. The absence of Black women in this trope speaks volumes about the intersectionality of race and gender in media portrayals. As viewers and consumers of media, it's essential to question these portrayals and demand better representation. Remember, the stories we tell and consume greatly influence our perceptions of the world and the people around us.